What's up, guys? We're in Charlotte, North Carolina at one of my favorite places, TLC 4x4, where my good friend Daniel and his team have restored a new Land Cruiser for us here at 307 Project. I haven't seen the truck yet, but I'm going to take you guys along with us. We're going to check out this build and maybe some other cool stuff that Daniel has in the shop. If you don't know about TLC, they are the best in the industry. They can take a old Land Cruiser that looks like it's about to fall apart, and they can make it brand new again from the ground up. Every nut, bolt, part, you name it, they can do that to Land Cruisers, and then also to pretty much any other vehicle that you guys want. So if you like cars, if you like trucks, I promise you, you're gonna like what you see in here. Let's go inside. All right, this is my man Daniel.
See you, man.
He leads the show around here. I'm so glad to be back, brother.
Thank you. Glad to have you back here.
So the 100 series.
Yes.
This is the first one you guys have done at the shop, right?
Yep. So this is the first 100 series. We've never really endeavored into doing these things just because they're so much different than the 40, 60, and 80 series trucks.
Okay. Well, I'm interested because you a few months ago were making fun of me for driving a 100 series Land Cruiser.
Yes.
It was a soccer mom car.
That's right.
And I agree with you, man. They look like sleepers when they're stock.
They do. They ride really comfortable.
Yeah.
For an older guy like you need your back support and all that stuff.
But through this build process, it seems like this truck has grown on you a little bit.
I actually got to drive it, after we did what we did to it, and I'm like, man, that thing is looking pretty good now. It's not no more soccer mom mobile. Now it's kind of like a cool guy can drive that thing.
For sure, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I can't wait to see it, man. We're about to walk out into the shop and check the truck out. I just wanted to introduce you guys to Daniel.
Thank you.
He's a very special guy. He cares so much about what he does, and it shows in the quality of work that he turns out and his team turns out here in the shop. So without further ado, let's go check this rig out.
Sounds good. 60s, got an old Bronco here, and then we got this 100 series here.
Crap, man. I knew that it was going to be nicer in person than it was. The pictures never do it justice, man. So you guys have to understand, when we sent this thing to Daniel, all the clear coat was peeling off the hood, the roof. It was rough as a cob, and it literally looks brand new.
Not to mention, we just went four-wheeling with it the day before and sent it to us all muddy. So
That was my wife. That was my wife.
So it took some cleaning.
Dude, I gotta see the inside too. That roof rack is awesome, man. Seats. Oh my gosh, you guys fixed the cup holder thing.
Yeah.
Hey, at least it lays down.
That's right.
Oh smokes, you guys did the back seat too?
So all the seats were redone. We, while we had the seats out, shampooed the whole carpet, cleaned the headliner, steam cleaned all the door panels, cleaned everything inside, replaced the seat covers, and then after that we moved on to the exterior of the truck.
You did perfect on the wheels too.
Thank you.
I told Blake about that. So as Daniel's building this out, I like to give him as much leeway, like in terms of his own discretion, as he'll take, right? So he's like, you want to do wheels? Which wheels do you want? I'm like, whatever wheels you want.
Surprising, I like surprises.
He's the expert, and I know that whatever he puts on the truck is going to match up with the truck, in my opinion. Like, it's going to look best on the truck. So wheels was his choice, roof rack was his choice, He helped me out on the bumper, which we need to get that because that changed the whole look of the front of the truck. You did all the lights in this bumper?
Yeah, so
too,
this
right?
bumper comes with fog lights, and then it comes with extra set of turn signals. So it's an Ironman bumper. So these are wired up as fog lights. These are wired in with your turn signals, so they'll come on. And then up front, we kind of kept it all stock. We just replaced new headlights because the other ones were just turning yellow.
Yep.
This bumper does have a provision for a winch, so if later on you want to throw a winch on it, that's not a problem. So yeah, this bumper changed the whole look of the truck.
It did, yeah.
Took it from soccer mom to tough guy.
For sure.
And then we did DBA brakes on all four corners, so rotors and pads. We did an Old Man Emu lift, and then we did a Prinsu rack with a Ironman awning.
What is the transfer case job?
It just helps with the angles of the
okay.
When you lift it up.
Gotcha.
All of this is replaced. So all new belt moldings, everything was stripped down. All the door handles off, all the emblems, trim off. The guys hand stripped the whole truck, and then from there they went and body worked it, primed it, and painted it, and then reassembled it. Like I said, reuse, some of the gaskets, replace some of the gaskets that were torn and wore out. So
yeah, so this thing sat outside for, I assume, its whole life.
Yeah.
Because you could see when I brought it to you, all up in here, like these crevices and all this was just piled up with gunk.
Yeah.
All this weather stripping didn't have any like rubbery feeling to it. And we did a new steering rack, right?
Yes. Replaced a new steering rack.
So,
that was a process.
I tried to have that steering rack done by multiple local shops, and every one of them said we cannot get an OEM steering rack. They're on like a year-long backorder thing that you got your hands on one there because nobody else could find one.
He said they had to lift the motor up.
The motor had to be lifted up a little bit.
Are you serious?
It's the worst design. It doesn't just come out.
Smokes, man. It's brand new.
It's
like, I guarantee you, there's not 100 series right now in the country that is comparable to this, because these haven't really gotten old enough, or I guess you would say sought after enough, for people to actually start putting them through this restoration process.
Yes, they're just now starting to get to that age, but these trucks have, weird technology in them, so that's why we kind of stayed away from them. And we don't mind doing cosmetic stuff like this and, doing the interiors, exteriors. Fully frame off restoring these trucks is going to be tough. Taking them off the frame and doing every nut and bolt like we do on these trucks is going to be tough because all the technology.
Yeah. I imagine that's coming though.
It is. I mean, it's gonna,
20 years probably.
They're gonna get to the age where, they're starting to age out and need restoration. So
yeah, because this is a 98.
Yes, and that's I was telling Blake this. It's kind of cool because it's like the first of its time. So,
it is.
So it's cool to find one that early in this good of a shape. Usually they're completely tore apart.
All right, so you guys have seen the 100 series that Daniel built for us. Daniel and his team built for us, and you also might be wondering like why. You might be on the fence if you're watching this. Maybe you got an old vehicle and you're thinking about having it restored. Like, why would we make the investment into a vehicle like that? And the answer is like this 100 series especially integrates into our lifestyle and enhances not only our ability to do what we do, especially all the backcountry missions and stuff that we run in at 307 Project. So it enhances all of that. But the part that you can't really explain to people until they actually feel it is it enhances the experience of whatever it is you're doing. So not only does it give you more ability, but just the whole experience becomes better when you're in a machine like that.
Yes.
That has really you know, just the attention to detail and the craftsmanship and the love that's went into it, which we're going to talk about this truck right here in a minute, but like my 60 series, I have one of these at home that Daniel and his team restored for me. And when I take this thing out on a trail or out, you know, squirrel hunting or just, you know, off-road, it's just the experience is different than if you're in a brand new, you know, cookie cutter,
Yes.
whatever it may be. And so for me, people think, well, why would you do this? The car you drive, does that really matter? It's just vanity. For me personally, it actually makes a difference in just your life experience.
It really
man.
does. It really does. You know, these things, every time I go and drive one or drive my own personal one, it can be a young kid or an 80-year-old. And what is that thing? That thing's so cool, man. Where'd you get that thing? So it's like, you know, fueling up for gas, you're going to have 3 or 4 conversations with random people asking you what it is or what year it is and stuff like that. But it really makes you feel better driving these things. It's really cool.
Dude, and we didn't even hit on that. And I know you said there's a story behind this truck.
Yes.
We didn't even hit on that. The cool thing about vehicles is so many of them do have so many amazing stories behind them.
They really do.
And the relationships that are born out of these trucks and these vehicles, for instance, mine and yours friendship, it's like
it came from that.
It came from that.
Exactly.
And I don't know, man. I just don't think that's considered enough when people are kind of on the fence about do we want to take, you know, Grandpa's old truck and have it restored or not,
definitely.
you know? But this is an FJ60. What year is this one? You
This
remember?
is an 85.
85.
Yes.
So mine's an 84. It's 1 year newer, but everything's pretty much the same,
thing,
right?
Yes.
And this is one that Daniel and his team have finished up. Now, this one has the LS3, so updated, modern drivetrain. It could be easily an everyday driver with that drivetrain.
Exactly. So this particular one, we did an LS3, so it gives you 430 horsepower. This customer wanted to keep this manual since all the 60s came manual.
Mm-hmm.
So we put a 5-speed manual behind this. So it still has that cool feel, shifting gears. But, you know, this particular vehicle is used on a daily basis, driving around town. And he uses a lot to go fishing and surfing. So that's kind of what it's set up for.
Yeah.
And, you know, he said that when he has it, you know, the seats are folded down, back seats, the fishing rods are in there, or the surfboard is on top. And it spends a lot of time at the beach.
As original color.
Yeah, so this is all original.
That's what I love about this build is that all of the not original stuff is hidden.
Yes.
And when you look at this truck from the outside, you see original wheels. Original suspension components, like everything. It looks like it would have rolled off of the assembly line in 1985, but then when you get under the hood, it's like a whole different beast. You know?
That was a big thing for him. He wanted to keep it as original looking as possible, and then just upgrade the drivetrain. And then we did a few little things, you know, creature comforts, but they're all hidden, so you really can't see them. But we worked really hard to keep all the original components. You know, the dash cracks up on these, so we had it restored and stuff like that. The only thing we upgraded in the interior is the front 2 seats. Mm-hmm. But we keep them as original looking as possible.
Daniel was explaining to us how much detail goes into even just the wiring harness, which is something that me, as the end user, I don't think about that, right? But how much detail and how much innovation has went into just that single aspect of the truck, and how they have overbuilt everything in terms. It's all mil spec. It's actually built to where this rig could actually be used off-road the way it's built to be used, the way it's meant to be used, and it's not really just all for show. You know what I mean? It's actually built to a usable, highly usable level. And yeah, it's just something that I don't think about, you know, going through the process of restoring one of these, everything that goes into getting it to that finished state, which we just saw a little bit ago.
It's a lot. It takes a lot. Just for instance, these guys right here. So this is all original. So we have to disassemble this, make sure inspected that it's working properly. Somebody has to sandblast it. Then we have to send it out to get zinc coated so it gets this yellow finish like it did from the factory, and then install it. Because we can't buy this from Toyota. So we have to restore all the original.
Yep.
9 out of 10 times something's broken, something's missing, so we have to hunt for another truck, find it, take that part and fix it or replace it.
Well, Daniel, dude, I'm so excited about getting to take this thing back to Georgia,
We're super excited.
get it off road, get to using it,
Nice.
show it off a little bit. It, as usual, exceeded my expectations,
Thank
man.
you. Thank you.
And I just really appreciate what you and your team do, not only for me, but for everybody who sends something up here.
Thank you.
It's crazy the impact that you can make through vehicles, and really through anything that you decide to be, like, you're passionate about in life. Like, if you just want to take it to the next level, you can really make an impact on the world and on people through whatever your passion is. And
Definitely.
like, that's one of the coolest things about what you're doing here. Yeah, your cars are awesome, but just the type of people that you guys are, and the interaction that I get to have with you and your guys when I come here, it just takes it to that whole nother level of like, okay, this is more than just they're building cars in here, man.
Yeah, and each car has its own story, and each customer has its own story and attachment to that particular vehicle. So it kind of makes it cool to build them, you know, because
For sure.
some people just bought them, and then some had them for years, or they were passed down in the family. So it's really cool to find out the backstory of the vehicle and how they use them. And we love getting pictures of, you know, customers using their trucks and out in the wild.
Yep. So you guys have a really awesome YouTube channel now.
Thank you. We're trying.
And I'll attach a link to the TLC YouTube
Appreciate
channel in the description of this video right here. You guys are also doing a lot of cool stuff on Instagram, short form stuff. So I'll attach that in the description too. You guys go check them out. As they finish these builds, they feature them on the channel and really show the ins and outs of what they've done uniquely to each build. And it's fun to watch, man. So check them out. Daniel,
Thank you.
thanks again, brother.
Thank you for working with us.
Yes, sir.
Sweet, dude.
Nuff said.